This will be a lot of fun.
Yo, Epstein didn't kill himself.
That's
Just
right.
want to open.
So we're gonna just hang out here as usual and wait for all the feeds to go out and people show on up and come on in.
Yeah.
So we're broadcasting
sending out the stream.
A lot of places because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Facebook, YouTube,
and a lot of pages on Facebook. Like a lot. Yeah. Profiles. We got Philosopher, Voluntaryist, Libertarian Guys Asian Wise, Free Market Memes, Red Flag Reality, Anarchy Ball,
Red Flag
OG.
Reality. This was the patch from the first campaign.
It's also available on this campaign too.
Yeah.
So cool. It's very cool. What's up, everybody? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Essential Freedom?
Hey, Essential Freedom.
What's up, Dragon Man?
Hi, Dragon Man.
What's up, Augusto?
Hi, Augusto.
Yes, thanks. Nice flag in the background like that. Courtesy of our boy Diego.
But it says Liberty or Death. You can get it at I Am the Remnant. Like you're the remnant of liberty. I think that's what he means. Right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
IamTheRemnant.com. Pretty cool.
Get your Liberty or Death flag, your booga patch.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about all the cool campaigns that we have going on right now.
Yeah, we got 3. Never before done 3 at the same time.
Yes. We have a threesome of amazing projects.
So you get to choose, what do you like?
Yeah.
You always get to choose. You can choose to be a slave. Anyway.
So among those, of course, we have, we already, as you know, we did the Red Flag Reality Project before where we ended up raising a goodly amount of money to produce several films. Yeah. And they came out great.
FPC helped on that, if you remember.
Right. If you haven't actually seen any of those, definitely check them out on the Philosopher channel. They're there. One's titled Hoplophobe, and that's a hilarious skit. So thanks, David, for making that with us. And then there's this Dear Public School Student skit, which is just a great way to get kids and our parents who have kids in school to think about how ridiculous all these code red drills are for mass shooters, because it's so statistically overblown that it's really insane. It's just fear-mongering, kids to get them to give up their rights. So if you like those, and of course there's other 2 videos, the real dangers of red flag laws and 3 reasons to abolish the ATF. So if you like those videos, we have more, and we want to do those. And we have, the new title of this campaign here is Trees of Liberty. That's the company, Films Promoting a Future for Firearms Freedom. And so this time here with Red Flag Reality 2, we're going to be hopefully doing another skit where...
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Exactly. It's going to show the ridiculousness of the police gun buybacks. And with the skit, it's made to basically get people to realize how insane they are, and how it literally has nothing to do with, getting people who would actually hurt others to stop hurting others. So it's a very funny skit and definitely worth getting made and getting out there. So
like a lot of things going on with the shutdown, it misplaces personal responsibility for things that you didn't do. So.
Right. And Zach out here, Zach Lukowski says he's digging Jack's wardrobe. Welcome. Yes, that's right. Gotta like repping the F scene and the Rothbard hat and the little flag in the background. Got it all. Got all my Liberty swag.
Love it.
So, but yeah, it's really cool. We're really thankful to everyone who helped us be able to make the past projects that we were working on, whether that's, the comic series, of course. The last one was Voluntaryist Origins IV, so that was super cool, or the film. So again, thank you everybody for your help in making that. But I mean, really, thanks to y'all
that you got.
Yeah, I hope you liked your perks. But thanks to y'all, stuff like this, was able to be made. Really cool Liberty content, stuff that's really engaging. Oh, look at that! Look who's back there, right? So. Yeah, it's just really cool to have those successes and have something to show for all of our hard work here, and just wouldn't be possible without y'all. So thank you so much, seriously, for believing in us and helping to make all that possible, from the films, the comics, and everything else. So
Well said.
yeah, and are you
Agree.
excited about your music video?
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I grew up on gangster rap. It got me through some hard times, some trials and tribulations. So it was really fun going to studio and surprising the the people who were there. There was like a legit rapper who was before me, and they're
Well, you're a
like,
legit rapper.
no, but they just weren't expecting me. They're like, oh yeah, so you guys the producers?
And we're
And
like,
I'm like,
well,
no,
I am,
I'm
just
the
not for
rapper.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, wow, all right. So it was pretty cool. And I love our sound engineer. He's awesome.
Yeah. He did a really good job. And actually, we're going to play
Yeah.
that song in just a little bit here. We just want to say
Yeah.
hi to some more
'Cause
people here.
There's no copyright infringement on that.
That's right. We have that
Stupid
fully
laws, stupid
licensed. We
IP
can use it.
laws.
So what's up, Diego? What's up,
Welcome
Sabik?
brownies for my
Welcome,
fat.
Christian. Welcome, Brownies. Yeah. Welcome, Drew. Welcome,
a
Metroid
hilarious
King.
name.
I missed it. Welcome, James. Welcome, Alan.
Yes, welcome Metroid King.
Jesse.
Hey Drew, happy Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, welcome.
So hopefully everything's coming in here smoothly, video wise.
Yeah.
Someone said they had a little buffering issue, but it looks like
so.
other people are otherwise good.
Yeah, let us know if you have any audio or video issues.
Right.
Like
we have
to
everything
know
direct
if we have any
connected. We got
lags.
Ethernet.
Yeah,
And
Ethernet connection.
everything should be pretty strong.
Won't be like that Epstein, not like the Epstein who didn't kill himself, but like Alex Epstein interview.
Yeah, I know, right?
We got a clear feed.
I don't know
now.
what happened there, but
I know
everything was working. Like we had so many interviews that are fine. All of a sudden, him, it's like, oh, okay, great.
I know.
Felt bad. He's like, what's wrong with you people? I wish you just told us. I wish you just was more like straight up about that. Like, oh,
how bad it was. Yeah.
He just must have thought that, we're used to like low quality, but we're like, no, we're not. So without further to do, we have three major projects. Again, we have the Voluntaryist Origins IV, which is the sequel to this comic. So that just came on out, and there's lots of cool stuff with that.
Continuing the series there.
Exactly. It's the chronology, and it's literally a story about how some people who are being attacked by the government realize that the government is not exactly a friend of humanity. And so that's the story, of course, kind of flips the script that a lot of comic universes kind of rest on, which is that government's always necessary and good, or at least if there's anything bad, it's just some bad apples.
It's always the neutral party. It's always the one that represents good, or if there is any bad government actors, it's always shown that, oh, it was just a few bad apples, and the government works to get rid of those bad apples and corruption. Right. It doesn't last for long. Like that's always the narrative, and it's annoying. I'm tired of it.
Like if you've been watching, for example, the series The Boys, even
The Boys on Amazon,
right, where it's supposed to be like, oh, everybody has some character flaws and problems, but if you look carefully, really the CIA is shown to be like the stable, good agency, technically. Exactly. So at the end of the day, and that's what a lot of these mainstream movies and Hollywood pieces are. And actually, of course, you had a video about that. That reference that a lot of movies that make it out in the mainstream are actually just CIA propaganda pieces. Essentially, they are either rubber stamped or facilitated with CIA intelligence or other type of government help, and they are just basically propaganda pieces for the state. And so we're trying to do something in that way that is very counter to that idea, which is that the state isn't just some naturally good thing, or that it's if anything just there's some bad apples or just needs the right people, that the concept is inherently forceful based on coercion, right, extortion. So also another thing that I like is there's also that trope in a lot of superhero movies where there's zero regard for private property. So like you have superheroes, they fall into some apartment building totally destroyed, but I just like how in the Voluntaryist comic series, like they try really hard, the superheroes, to prevent damage to property, because they recognize that actually translates to people's life force, their labor, and what they worked really hard to achieve. So it's not something that should just be seen as just destroy it. Destruction's fine. There's no cost. Property is unlimited. It's not scarce. Like, Right. Yeah. So, I mean, just that whole concept being flipped, where the protagonists are actually actively thinking about how they can protect not just people, but from stuff being destroyed, is kind of itself a novel thing within the comic world, and especially superhero genre world. So I'm just really excited about it. And, we've been doing this now. This is my 10th campaign that I've run. And the last couple of campaigns have had over 100% funding, and I've done very well. And, the quality has just continued to improve. And of course, I have that to this date. Lots more efficient processes and just things going very well with it. So,
and I love that it's chronological now. It's now this will be the 4th one. So now you can know that when you finish reading this issue, the next one that comes out is going to be a continuation,
Exactly.
Speaking on my experience as someone who's read all the comics that have been produced to date, just like over 10.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point,
8,
I just focus on the chronology, but there's now in our 4th chronological issue. So as you can see here, this is the cover for it. So you can see
Mac Lee
looks pretty cool.
Jack Lloyd in the front there, Voluntaryist.
Right. And I always like incorporating some contemporary culture to it, even if, because for me, covers are kind of like a art piece. They're not necessarily exactly what's in the comic. I mean, there's some reference, but it's also itself like a statement. So, I threw in a little bit of tie-ins, especially for the future verse of what will happen.
Very timely to what's happened.
Yeah, a little bit timely there.
Epstein to kill himself. There you go. And the lockdown and the shutdown.
Right. So I think you'll definitely enjoy this one.
Real.
Would be nice, huh?
Like that issue where they broke out Edward Snowden and Julian Assange.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Sad.
Fortunately, reality requires regular people to just stand up and work hard. So
yeah, against the monolith that are status all around the world, in control of Danush.
Yeah, someone noticed that the Epstein didn't kill, so signed the covers back. Exactly, and I do that a lot with the comic series. I definitely
Sasquatch. Welcome.
Yeah, with the Sasquatch.
Try to make it so welcome.
I try to incorporate a lot of extra messages and kind of deeper meaning things within it that those who know, and if you're not sure, you might have to Google and find out. But there's definitely a lot of that kind of stuff that I incorporate, from, you could say, the Liberty world, the conspiracy world, and a couple of things that are pretty interesting. So in addition to that, of course, we have
the Liberty and conspiracy world overlap.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there.
Because the conspiracy is real.
Basically. So in addition to that, we have the Mask Order.
Yeah. Are you going to play the song?
Yes. So we'll be playing the song here in just a moment.
I'll dance.
You can dance.
I just like the song.
Right with it. So the Mask Order.
The car.
The Mask Order song is already, of course, made, and you can actually hear that and listen to that on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But we just want to make a music video with that as well that encapsulates the feel of the song, just to help also give it some virality, because a lot of people may not necessarily listen to a song, off the chance, but they see a video with it, a music video, then a lot of people like to see that more. So we're just hoping that maybe inspires some people, and could be a lot of fun to do, especially if you get a good budget for it. We can do some really cool things.
And you can appear in the video. So you can, you won't be like someone asks, like, oh, do I need to burn the mask on my face? No. It's just all you need is a mask, and it's a video of you taking it off. Because it's like, screw the mask orders. Screw.
Yeah.
Because some people didn't like the expletives. Hey, and maybe if we get the funding, we'll make a clean version.
Yeah, we make a Kids Bop version of the R-rated stuff.
You guys, you know what they did to WAP?
Wow.
They did Wet and Gushy.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll do something like it that makes it lame.
Yeah.
Like hey, screw the mask order. Like something like that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe.
Just kidding.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so basically the idea with the mask video is just rallying some more interest and support, and people just get behind the idea the government should.
There's a lot of people frustrated.
Right. Tell people what to do.
People tired of the lockdowns.
Exactly.
I cut you off. Go on.
It's all good. So yeah, exactly. Just getting people to visualize that and be less afraid to stand up, speak out, and just connect with others to say, yeah, this is not right. This idea that, if people want to wear masks, whatever, that's up to them personally. But the idea of government forcing it and forcing lockdowns and stuff is completely unethical and completely destructive. So
Oh, I love Zach's suggestion. Gosh darn the mask order. Oh, that'd be funny.
Fauci the mask order. That's
Gosh darn the mask order. Gosh darn your mask order. Gosh darn the New World Order. That'd be funny.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, would you support now?
Oh my goodness.
Fauci the mask order. Oh, that sounds good.
So Micah asked, like, how would you send the video if the mask or stuff like that? So basically, for the appearance, if you do appearance in the music video, if you select that perk, we would coordinate with you. We would just tell you what we need in terms of like just making sure everything's good on the copyright end and the stuff like that, and whatever, we got to just protect ourselves legally. We would tell you what to do in terms of like how to structure yourself or how to place yourself. And then likely what you would do is you don't have to get a mask if you want to. You could use a shirt or a rag or whatever, but it'd just be like for the video, just you having it on and then ripping it off your face, not like destroying your face, just like pulling it down. I mean, you could do it like if you want, just be careful.
It's supposed to be like in protest.
Right. It's just supposed to be
symbolically in protest.
So it's a symbolic kind of fun thing. So again,
would love to see you guys in it. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. Diego asked, what about sponsorship? Yes, there is an advertisement sponsorship kind of option there too, in terms of like, I think it's end
for
credits.
Each of these campaigns, actually.
Yeah, for each of the campaigns,
for the comic,
there's definitely everything.
It would mean a page in the comic. And then for the videos, it would be like end credits.
Right. For example, this is like a centerfold ad in the comic, but obviously we've had other advertisers and stuff. Like I can show you, like, here, I'll pull it up. Like here, like Agorist Nexus and some other stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Agorist Nexus.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like we have all those kinds of things from, appearing potentially. There's an appearance option too, even in the red flag reality video.
Flag, Diego. You can probably tell we put it on.
Thanks, Diego. Yeah, that's pretty great. But we have it all. We have, whatever advertisement, cameo options, like appearing, and screen roll credit potentially. So, just take a look at the campaigns. I can relink those here again for everybody.
I would love to have you there.
Just put it on in.
Seeing Libertarian ads.
But yeah, so you can appear in the mask order music video. You can appear in the red flag reality video, the police buyback video. You could appear in the comic in a sense if like you made an ad and like put your face in there or something, but
That's true, and people have.
But there's all those kinds of things, and it's just a cool way to get involved too, because obviously if you want to be a part of it, there you go, you actually get to be a part of making a kind of liberty or libertarian history, and being in there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for asking. So yeah, hope to see you guys either doing the videos or any of the other perks. Anything helps, really. For me, I just want to see all three of these projects thrive. I mean, I'm passionate about all of them. So if you like rap music videos and you like music as a medium of changing minds or getting people mad and just fed up with what's going on, I highly recommend supporting the mask order video. So yeah, hopefully you'll like it. Or the comics, if you want to see the comics, or more videos. I really want to do that skit for the gun buyback video.
That's skit.
Showing what that.
I don't want to give too much details away because it's a great idea and it's so hilarious that I just don't want to spoil it, because it's worth waiting for. Like it's that good. And it was already scripted. We had already, run through it and created and stuff like that. So we have it already frameworked. But it will definitely not only make people laugh, but it will make people just really realize, like, wow, this is such a scam. Like it's such a ridiculous, absurd thing that these agencies do to try to, make people think that they're doing something helpful. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, they're just paying people with their own money to take their property. It's a sham. So,
and I hope it changes minds too.
Yeah.
People who gets people who like feel ashamed for owning a gun, as if like your gun's gonna be responsible for something.
Right.
It's like, no, if you're peaceful and careful, it's you shouldn't feel guilty for something you didn't even do. So, yeah.
Exactly. It's a matter of just getting people to say, hey, it's okay that you have a gun. And maybe if you don't feel comfortable with it yet, then instead of being like, well, I'll just give it to the police, how about instead we encourage a culture of people saying, oh, well, come on out to the range, show you how to use it, how to get, better at, just the basics. Figure out how to have safe handling, how to load, unload, how to clean. Just I mean that is a much better progression toward peace. Is getting people to actually become comfortable at least with what they have, than to make them feel ashamed. Be like, well, I guess why do I have this? I'll just jolt to bleach, something like that.
Yeah, like be building. That really contributes to the culture. Be friendly when you're at the range, and if you notice somebody who's new or struggling, like feel free to just friendly ask, like, hey, do you mind if I offer you some advice? So that's always a way to help people feel comfortable with it. Especially for girls, like knowing for me, like it, my first time there, I'm like extra conscious and aware of all the explosions going around. And for all the people that were friendly to me, it really helped me to just feel at ease. Like, oh, it's okay. Like, it's okay for me to make a mistake, and people aren't going to make me feel bad because I'm a newbie. So as much as you can contribute to that culture, even in your local range, it really does make a difference. So
absolutely. And that's a great point. It's just that you can make a difference on an individual level, even as small as you're just at the range
Exactly.
shooting and you see it looks like someone's new. Again, not in a pressurized way, just in a kind way, just saying, oh, hey, by the way, would you like to try, I have this gun, want to give it a try? That kind of thing.
It's fun to see people light up who they're like, oh, you have that? Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's a PS90, or ooh, what's that? That looks like a spacey gun. I want to try,
Yeah.
Like, oh, careful, don't shoot too much. There's a lot of expensive right now.
Right.
No, but I love helping people just try different things. And that's also part of, we're not all the same. Like, gee, who'd have thought? But, we're not all the same. Guns will feel different in each of our hands. From rifles to pistols. So it's also cool to give someone a chance to try a gun that they never tried before, and then give them like a new experience, and they will remember you just like for being so kind to them. So
that's very true. Yeah. Whether for good or for bad, if you let someone try out your gun, they will definitely remember that instance.
Yeah.
They might be like, oh, I would never want to shoot that particular gun again. Or they might be like, oh, actually, I didn't know that gun was so good. I want to get it,
I've had both of those.
I've had both those experiences for sure.
Like someone's like, hey, you want to shoot my shotgun? It's a 12 gauge. I'm like, no, but sure. And then I was like blown away. You remember, I was like 2 feet
it's
blown back.
It's a little much for you. It's a little much.
Yeah.
I mean, well, me too. Like, I mean, I've shot like the
shockwave. AR-15s. That's why I like AR-15s. It doesn't blow me back. You guys like being blown? I don't. So anyway.
I know some people like being blown, especially the Libertarian Guys with Asian Wives group, which I'm seeing some people coming here from there too.
I know. I saw someone was like, hey, where could I get an Asian wife?
Yeah. You can pick them up. They're out there.
Just attract a woman based on virtue.
That's true.
Whether she's Asian or a lovely Mexican or a white woman. Well, there you go. But anyway, it's just interesting that there is a thing of libertarian guys with Asian wives, just oddly enough.
There's thousands, legions. I mean, it's
thousands.
It's huge.
So it's an interesting stereotype out there.
But yeah. So basically, if you want to hear that song, I think we should play it.
Yeah. Before you do, I just want to check in on the campaign.
Okay.
Mask order launched on Monday, I believe. Friday of last week, I think.
Sure.
And we just launched the other two today. So I'm just curious where we're at.
We definitely can. Let's play.
Let's play. Oh,
okay,
wow.
So
okay, that's 3 more than the last time I was there. So
I'll put it
that's
on
13
in here.
backers total. And was that 700 something?
730, 41.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got 13 backers now. That's awesome.
Thank
you to everyone who supported. That's really cool. Anyone do the video appearance? Curious.
I don't know. I have to take a look. If I can, let me see here. Video appearance.
So digital wallpaper.
Video appearance. Nope, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
No one's at a video appearance yet.
Video appearance.
All right, Voluntaryist doing all right.
Oh,
so thank you so much for your support.
4 backers.
Nice.
355. That's pretty good. Nice.
Yay.
Off to a good start.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh,
are you gonna keep them together?
I was thinking about it, but then I was like,
or is there a
let
limit
me see.
to text?
Let's see.
Hope you're all having a good night.
Yeah,
Friday.
I know I am.
Just got off a hangouts, a monthly live hangouts with my Patreon / subscribe starians / floatians, my floats. So it was fun. Just 2 of the guys came, but it was fun to just hang out. So that was a nice Friday today. Always love hanging out with my fellow libertarians.
Plus, didn't you get a good workout doing some weed whacking?
Oh yeah, I had a good workout today. I went running. I actually never calculated how far it was, but I think it was at least 2 miles. At least,
if not more.
And it was great to get some sun and fresh air. It was interesting to see a lot of people masked. Still, even though it's like so hot outside and beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh well, to each their own. I just care when people like shame someone either way, like shame someone for having a mask or shame someone for not. It's just like whatever, dude. It's just like your choice. And oh, thanks, Diego.
Yes, thanks, Diego. Thanks for your
I
support.
like your cowboy hat and your that's such a cool frame. Oh, that's awesome.
That is so good.
That's really cool. And then did weed whacking.
You whack some weeds.
That was fun. I'm still learning how to like make the string come out more longer.
You got to smack it down while it's spinning.
Oh, while it's spinning.
Right, because
okay. I did it when it wasn't. I'm like, why is it working? So, I didn't want to break it.
Centripetal force. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, Mike.
Yes.
Cool. That's so cool.
All right. So now are you ready to give the song a listen?
Yeah.
Oh, and just a quick warning. The song does have language. So if you're currently having small children listening to this stream, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but if you were, maybe not the best for those people. If you're an adult, whatever, I don't care.
We could try to keep it.
But I mean, if you want to put babies to this, I don't know, that'd probably be pretty rough for them. Anyway, all right. So
it's serious talk, regardless of the expletives. It's serious. Let your kids be kids. Just, don't let them worry about this stuff. Right? They're just kids.
All right. So here we go. Here's the song in case you haven't heard it.
Are you tired of being told what to do, where to go, and how to think by a bunch of sick psychopaths? I know I am. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Hang the pedal politicians and their Satan forces. First they lied about the Rona, said not to worry. And they shut our world down and bribed us with their own money. When they opened up again, the lies didn't end. As the death count started to fall, the story changed again. Instead of counting deaths, they switched to counting cases. Got the Karens out here spitting in your faces. They want you to shut the fuck up, blindly follow orders. And if you don't, they'll lock you up, even resort to murder. So fuck the mask order and the new world order. Fuck mandatory vaccines and the shutdown orders. Fuck the governors and their mandates. String them up, light them up, heads out on stakes. Fuck the fake news, CNN abuse. Kill your television, they don't tell the truth. Fuck these status hoes, my roads don't need none. Freedom first, I'ma get it, come on get some. Undocumented green, California lit trees. 5'7" stacking up, 50 round P90. Why you lying on my name? Air July, Twitter game, cocaine, applesauce. Come and take it, Baker Maine. Screw Marxist infiltrators, Reds always want mine. Cummings gonna get a dish out the barrel, Glock 9. Socialist, no time, black and gold worldwide. Ron Paul televised, Bitcoin wallet size. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. The social distancing and the lockdown orders. Fuck the censorship and the planned panic. Liberty, non-negotiable, freedom addicts. Now what you gonna do when they got the 5 loose? Copping drugs and guns, don't you know that means you? So reject it all and disobey. Expand your mind, know yourself, philosophy all the way. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Fuck the mask order and the new world order. Hang the pedal politicians and their Satan forces. Yeah, I said it. Fuck their mask orders. Your body is sovereign. Life, liberty, property rights, bitch. Fuck these status ass hoes.
All right. So as you could see,
so that's the song.
I
want to make a music video for it, and we'll love if you guys could be a part of it too. Thank you so much, Nevada Cario. No paro pica.
Yeah, glad you liked it. It was a lot of fun
I hope I
recording it
pronounced it
too.
right.
Like doing that in
Yeah.
studio was a lot of fun.
That mic was amazing.
Yeah, he said it was like an $8,000 mic that they were using in the studio.
Yeah, I was like really careful around it. I like
Yeah.
tiptoed.
Yeah.
It's like 8,000. Gotta just walk around.
Well, I mean,
That was really cool.
the clarity was very good. So yeah, so
Mhm.
basically we want to be able to, with the music video, really add some nice visual touches
Yeah,
to that angst.
definitely. Mhm.
Especially, say fuck the mask order and the New World Order.
Mhm.
And the part especially about hanging the pedo politicians
I
and
think it'd
the
be
state
easy.
enforcers.
Yeah, I think it'd be really easy to do a clean version. I mean, you just bleep it.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's like literally every other
bleep
word is like bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, or silence. Oh, thank you, the Sasquatch.
Thanks, Sasquatch. Thank you for your support.
I'm glad you believe in yourself. I like that.
Oh my
I like
goodness.
that. Believe in yourself. Be a foot amongst feet. Join the Sasquatch imagery.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I hope
Oh,
you
thank you
enjoyed
so
that
much.
song, or at least the words of the song, even if you're not too much of a rap fan. I think most people can at least resonate with the idea of shoving the mask orders, or or someone
Shove
said
your mask
Fauci
orders.
the mask order instead of Fauci. I don't know. Is that how you say it? Fauci?
Fauci. I
Fauci,
think.
right? Because Italian or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I never pay attention to them. So, but yeah, I mean, I think just that kind of cultural dynamic shift is just so important because so many people are so afraid, right? You know what I mean? When you think about it at the beginning, I mean, I was concerned too. And I think that's important to say that, you know what I mean? At the beginning of this all, I myself, of course, was worried. Okay, is this really going to be a bad virus? Like, what's going on? Do we have to actually be concerned? I mean, I traced it. I was watching it. But then soon enough, right after, it became clear that it had already actually been transmitted because obviously all the travel was still going with Chinese New Year, stuff like that. And millions, literally like 5 million people left Wuhan. So I'm like, okay, so that must have meant people were getting infected and spreading it. And
People
I did some
thought
research.
I was from Wuhan too.
Right.
They're like, oh. I'm like, don't worry. I was born here. It's fine. It's fine.
So basically, like after I talked to a bunch of people who had been traveling there, pilots and their stuff, and I heard the same story time and again. There's all these different people who are on these different travel industries who had gotten sick early January, February. They basically, didn't know what it was, went to the doctors. The doctors didn't know what it was. And that's what was the big trigger, moment for me was like, okay, their doctors were like, we're not exactly sure what this is either. And then I started to see the pattern that, okay, the virus had actually already spread by and large. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then basically it's going to come out, that more people had it, that lots of people are going to test positive for it. And they're going to either be asymptomatic
sure
to mild.
Enough, that's come out. That
and
most
sure
people
enough,
have likely already had it at some point.
Right.
Asymptomatic or not.
The CDC's numbers basically corroborate that, even with their grossly inflated numbers, because again, the CDC changed their classification that you can do presumable or probable. And then the doctors and the labs basically said, well, we can't take elective surgery. So let's go ahead and, if anything tests COVID, whatever positive test, doesn't matter how iffy it could be, we say it's, with COVID, so they can shore up their money with federal funds. And so that's how come they got the inflated case numbers. That's how come they got inflated death numbers, even though there's 2.6 comorbidities. And some people are like, well,
right. Like someone died in a car accident from the collision, the impact. And it's like, oh, did they test positive for COVID? There you go.
Right. It was
There's
that
also
level.
False positives too with this.
So right. So with so many people who had other symptoms, comorbidities at the time, I just took a look at the CDC data, and the CDC data, what I focused on, because in the CDC data, this is very important. A lot of people don't actually look or think about this, is that they don't say whether those are symptomatic or asymptomatic, right? You go through the CDC data of the cases, they don't delineate whether, they were symptomatic or not. They don't have that kind of information. They have other things like, we think, influenza, flu. But the reality is if you look at the data in terms of other things, you can find so much of that data ties with comorbidities that are independently deadly. And so that was my metric. So I was like, okay, so if I see renal failure, okay, their kidneys are going, they have a heart condition, they have, a brain, aneurysm, they have something else, right? I'm going to be like, oh, okay, well, those are independently deadly things. And by the time I did that analysis, I was like, oh, okay, so basically coronavirus is really just, a severe cold flu kind of level virus. And basically the government in the United States just manipulated a bunch of people, by basically packing the numbers with loose reporting.
They've gotten so
and making it worse.
Many people just deathly afraid.
Right. And now, there's been a couple studies that I have. I don't have the links with me at the moment. They're on my page, but basically, I noticed that there's a pre-existing immunity that has already come from other SARS viruses, SARS-1. So basically, a lot of people already had some level of immunity. 80 to 90% of people had some level of immunity pre-existing because there's cross immunity. So, it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, at the beginning, it's reasonable. It was reasonable to say, oh my gosh, the Chinese government, I don't really trust them no matter, which way. Is this a deadly thing? Is this going to be a problem? Yeah. But in the end, I think that the data was obvious soon enough, looking at the European studies and the population's demographics of who's dying and the ventilator issue, that the people in the United States government, the governors, especially the mayors, were opportunists. They were like, oh, well, can't let this would-be crisis go to waste. Let's turn to a full-fledged crisis and say, you need to go get
so much power from the supposed emergency.
Right. Like, you need to stay home forever and never do anything again and just die at home. That's,
it's nuts.
Yeah, it was really evil. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, so that's why, just want to get as more people going as possible. Oh, look at this. Zach here says, I was counted as a COVID hospitalization because I got a kidney stone while I was COVID positive.
Wow. But you weren't at the hospital for COVID. Corona you were there symptoms. For the kidney stone. Yeah.
Oh
exactly.
My! It's insane.
That's
really
one of the examples. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, the data was never highly structured and unified in a way to suggest whether someone was actually in the hospital, like need to be in the hospital because of the symptoms of corona, or whether, okay, you have it and maybe it's mild asymptomatic, but there's something else, Someone actually posted today that someone had Guillain-Barré syndrome, like they died because of corona triggered it. It's like, no, they died from the neurological disorder, not corona. I mean, it just, it's one of those things where
they're trying so hard just to
they're trying to make it like anything and everything. Oh, that must be corona. Just, chalk it up.
Yeah.
So, and again, thank you, Sasquatch, for your support. Big ups.
So how does someone join the Sasquatch Light Infantry?
Yeah.
Is that like a decentralized thing?
That's true.
So then a lot of people are part of it already that are watching.
I think it's a type of mountain men militia.
Oh, okay.
But,
Mountain Big Igloo Boys.
Oh, here we go. Another person here. I'm just handsome military family tested positive. I myself is asymptomatic. My wife is active tested positive. Yeah. Oh, the producer who did our song, he said he got tested positive for corona. He had some of the difficulties, like lack of taste.
Yeah.
And then, cough and stuff like that. He said it was on and off for about a month. He said, but his fiance also
said he was
positive.
Still productive, like he made music.
Yeah, he did.
He actually enjoyed.
Right, he enjoyed the downtime.
Right.
But his fiance had it as well, completely asymptomatic, like literally nothing. Yeah. So it just goes to show that, like, the idea that, again, from how it was being pitched, was that this is so massively deadly. It's going to kill slews of young people who are otherwise healthy. Was just absolute bunk.
If you get it, you're going to die.
Right.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. It was what it was, which was mostly people who already were sick or nearing deathbed. And that's things. Yeah. It's not like, oh, hey, that's great. But at the end, that doesn't rationalize upending everybody else's lives and property rights and everything else. It's just insane.
Right. And what's crazy to me, but not surprising, is despite all of these things coming out about, for example, hey, the whole point of shutting down was to flatten the curve of hospitals and prevent hospitals from being, quote, overrun. A bunch of socialists who don't get that the market responds naturally.
Right.
But when that didn't happen, they didn't rescind. They didn't go, oh, we were wrong.
Right.
They kept things shut down, and they kept things limited. And it's crazy how many people had lost their jobs from that lack of demand that was imposed by the state, by the states in the country. So.
Wow. It's it really is crazy. Just, I think, how quickly people can be, turned into a fearful mindset. And I think that's just such an important reminder for people to take away from this, is that it doesn't matter even if it is a severe thing, like it's a bubonic plague or something like that. There's never an excuse or rationalization for the central planning of the state, because that does not actually in and of itself solve the problem, because people still need to survive in terms of providing for
And
themselves.
people respond to
Right.
incentives. If there was a freaking bubonic plague, people would naturally like be afraid and like
Right.
be careful, be extra careful.
Right.
Most people.
If
you
it was
know?
legit bad, then there'd be a massive market incentive right off the bat to go ahead and provide for relief, whether
Right.
that's,
and to
you know,
figure out how to slow the spread or to avoid it or whatever, or to treat it. And
right.
yeah,
It-
it's just crazy.
And then the biggest part of that's a problem, of course, is debilitating the ability for people to have trade, to be able to develop those things, manufacture them, and actually distribute them.
because you're forcefully taking their resources and
Right.
allocating it somewhere else, like
and stopping the
a bunch
transportation
of
shipment.
ventilators
Right.
or a bunch of masks that just sit in a warehouse somewhere. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something that a lesson it needs to be learned for all time. I mean, I will say the silver lining out of everything is that I do think more people have turned against the government in that way, and that you know, now they're more skeptical. And I do think a lot of people were like, you know what, actually we do need the right to bear arms, and you know, gun control is not good, especially after all the different riots and all the issues of people just, you know, struggling, and then, you know, being worried about, okay, you know, if people are starving and there's, you know, all these different protests and then they turn into riots, is that going to affect me?
That's true.
So
one of the few bright sides is that the people who like a lot more first-time gun buyers came out this year. First, in response to the shutdowns, because people were worried that, okay, if things are shut down, there may be a lot of people who are desperate because they can't work. So they may come to my house and try to get my food, you know? So that was the first wave of new gun owners. So that was interesting. And then you had, riots and news about the riots in different major cities. And then that's where you had more and more waves of people becoming first-time gun owners. So
right.
that's one of the pluses, I think, is it greatly expanded the gun self-defense community. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do here with all of our different campaigns. So we're trying to educate people, entertain, but with entertainment also getting people to think outside their statist proverbial boxes. And so far, I think it's been going pretty well. As someone here, Brock, just mentioned, so many people started to Google alternatives to the two-party system after that last debate, right? When you had Trump and Biden, you know.
Have you guys heard? I heard. So when I did my hangout with my patrons, you know, etc., they both mentioned that apparently Joe Jorgensen's website crashed from all the people looking her up and going to her website during the debates between Trump and Biden. So, I mean, they both said it. I wonder if that's true, but that's really interesting. So
it is true. No, it's very much true. And more people are waking up because they're realizing that, okay, you have Trump here who, you know what I mean? He tries to act all tough and like belittle people, stuff like that.
Sometimes nods to freedom too.
Right, but it's not really right. It's not
action. So.
And even then, it's not, because at the moments where it matters most to talk about freedom, not his passing Twitter comments, when it matters most is when he doesn't. Right. So the other night, he could have talked about when they asked him about taxes. He could have simply said, yeah, you know, I paid whatever, and everybody should aspire to pay as little as possible that they legally can in taxes. Right. And I say legally just because I'm saying it in a, you know, politically correct framework. But he could have played that card. He could have literally been like, he could have owned
the freedom
it.
Card,
he could have owned it. And instead he pandered. He at every single point, he just pandered, instead of being like, oh, here's your chance. You know, you want to show people that you actually care about these things. And of course, his actions otherwise belie that. But if you want to use the rhetoric to try to get some more people in, to be like, so it's just sad. And then of course, you know, Biden, who knows what was on his arm? I mean, I think it probably was a micro wire. There was some little thing. I would be shocked to hear that he didn't have a wire, and B, some type of drugs to keep him alert. Like there's no way.
Did he take adrenochrome?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much evidence otherwise of him having serious, you know, signs of neurological problems and dementia of some sort, that they probably pumped him up crazy and probably did something wiring wise or otherwise. You know, it's just
He was so corrupt.
Yeah.
Just smiling through his teeth. Ugh.
And lying too. Like
Gross.
when Trump was like saying stuff about his son, he's like, no, that's not true. And then he goes on to confirm, yeah, he was addicted to drugs and got kicked out. It's like, wait a second, you just said that's not true. And then literally said it was true. I mean, the double speak on the stage is just absolutely mind numbing.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And then Trump was like, "You mean Hunter or something?" And he's like, "No, I have another son."
Yeah.
It was just weird. It was just like, okay, that doesn't help.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dragon Sasson. Is that Sasson or
Oh,
Sasson?
thanks, Dragon Man Sasson.
Dragon Man.
Thank
Dragon
you
Ball.
so much. Really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes, if you forgot to add a comment, you can add it, and we'll pop it up later. But yeah, I mean, if you just look at what happened, it has never been clearer, I think, in most of mass media history. Maybe since who was it that was taking on? Now I'm like losing it. Was it Nixon, or trying to think, or was it with Kennedy? When TV was someone who's older than me, remind me, when there was TV first became a thing in terms of like, televised debates, it changed how people perceive things, because now suddenly you couldn't just get away with speech and stuff like that. Like now how you looked on TV, you had to like have a certain look to really capture people. But like basically, with that kind of focus on the superficial, what everybody saw last night didn't even meet that like most superficial look of like, people were like, oh, he's a president who just speaks well.
They're
like,
looking for decorum
right,
and
both
charisma, but
looked
neither
horrible.
of them had that, because both were calling each other names, interrupting each other.
Right. And constantly on like loops.
Yeah. They didn't seem refined and professional.
It was bad. But that said, that was great for everybody else, because everybody else is like, oh, okay, finally, everybody's waking up to like, this is just literally, all a facade and all nonsense. And they don't care about anything or anyone. They just want power.
They're waking up to that reality too. Like, okay, so one of these guys is supposed to be gonna rule me, apparently. Right. So that freaked out a lot of people too.
Brock, thank you. Yes, Nixon, right. I was going to say, I couldn't remember if it was JFK or Nixon where was the first kind of like big changeover with color television, especially. Right. And exactly, like that really changed it up.
Oh, Zach said it too.
Right, Nixon. Yeah,
Kennedy won the Nixon-Kennedy debate.
Right.
Radio listeners said Nixon won.
Thanks, Zach. Exactly. Right.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
But that's a good point, right?
Fascinating.
Changing
when you just
technology.
Listen, but versus, okay, I like how Kennedy looks over Nixon, like subconsciously. Interesting.
Well, exactly. And that kind of sentiment, right, even continues to today with new emerging technologies, right? Like Trump's use of Twitter and other things like that, that's going to continue on. I mean, I imagine one day it's going to be who has the better virtual reality avatar or something. You know what I mean? Like the virtual reality avatar, presidential debate or something. But, everything in politics right now is just so crony, so corrupt. And the people that they have there are like such the bottom of the barrel, statists, cronyist. It just shows, and people are like, we're like, oh yeah, wow, that really is that bad. It really is that crony and corrupt and horrible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you so much so far to everyone who has contributed, supported so far. Let's take a look here really quick. I'm gonna pull up the campaigns, and again, if you just popped in, we are promoting our latest 3 projects. We have Red Flag Rally 2. I got different fingers for different campaigns. Red Flag Rally 2, Mask Order, 1, but it's just Mask Order. And then, Origins IV, the Voluntaryist comic. So it looks like we're still sitting at 147, the police buyback skit. And let's take a look here. We have Origins 4. I don't even know if anything's changed because we've been doing other stuff. But I appreciate everyone who's been on it. And thank you, especially Diego.
Super chats.
Awesome getting the... I think Diego must have gotten something cool. Let me see. I think he got past issues. Oh, no, he got the centerfold. Never mind.
Wow. Okay.
So Diego, wow. Okay, so there goes.
That's pretty awesome.
The centerfold double page ad has been sold out.
I want to see what ad you put. That's really cool.
So, yeah, so that's really cool.
Diego's the maker of the Liberty or Death flag. So.
Right. So basically, the centerfold of the comic was picked up. So you can still get a double page if you want, but basically the thing that goes in here, like this is the last one from The Last Nighters, the centerfold. That one has just been selected. So that'll be very cool. I'm pretty sure that's going to go to I Am the Remnant. So super awesome.
That is very awesome.
So let's take a look here then at Mask Order.
So you see, we got a mix. You want to make a video about promoting gun rights and dispelling the stigma of owning guns. You have Red Flag Rally 2. If you want to see me produce another music video like I did for ANCAP Grind, you can help there with Mask Order.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to see the comic continue, you can help on Voluntaryist Origins IV. So got all kinds of different mediums.
It looks like Mask Order actually. So all these numbers are up. So I do have to update them. Mask Order, we just got another $10 supporter. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to go ahead and adjust that. Now this is 751. And then
I really like rap. I mean, that's partially I really enjoyed recording it. I enjoyed practicing all the way up to it too. We worked really hard on that song. We collaborated on the lyrics together, and it was really fun to go through that creative process, see what sounds good or not, and it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Hey, and Sasquatch said, remember about a year ago when we were warned the time was short? Exactly. I mean, a year ago we were talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? Talking about the red flag stuff. That, I mean, was actually pretty much the most legit threat. And then once the Corona stuff happened, and in some fortunate ways, there was still red flag stuff going on, but actually it pulled back a little bit from that just because, you know what I mean? Like a lot of resources and attention were taken elsewhere, but it was still going on. So we definitely were like, covering that stuff and sharing some news and, promoting that around. But as you can see with what happened with the shutdowns, time definitely was even shorter than we thought in terms of the tyranny clamping down really fast. It definitely can come down much harder unless there is, at a bare minimum, some type of like legal ramifications shutting down these orders for the future. Just like I think it was Pennsylvania, there was a judge, I think, a federal judge who shut down the orders saying they're unconstitutional, which was obviously a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to need more of that.
In Philadelphia, right?
West Philadelphia, born and raised. But yeah, it's something that if that does not change, right? I mean,
such a fight.
Those types of executive orders of literal shutdowns can be used for like everything and anything, right? With that level of, it's this virus and it's that low risk. What couldn't?
So many
people in the future do
just wiped out. It just pisses me off when people are like, oh, you want to reopen? You're not even thinking about the lives. And it's like, well, compared to what? Compared to you shutting down people's livelihoods, compared to you saying people should be shut in and now they can't socialize. They have to socially distance or muzzle their faces. They can't talk to people. That's actually destroying lives as well. So,
well, in actual like material terms, suicides went up. Drug overdose deaths went up, obviously. I mean, what happens when people lose their network, their support, and their income, and now they feel like they have no purpose in life, right? I mean, hello, and now you might lose your home.
A lot of businesses I saw shuttered.
Right? I just heard 50% of New York businesses are facing permanent closure because they can't handle it.
Wow, 50%.
So it's really crazy. It's really something that I don't think enough people appreciate, and people are now because they're seeing it and feeling it. But before they didn't appreciate it. It's like, it's not just the economy.
They thought it was benign.
It's just shutting down. It's like, no, you're literally starving people.
It's just the economy, but they don't realize the economy is you. The economy is human beings.
Right.
It's how we interact with each other and provide goods and services with each other in exchange value. And they didn't, a lot of people didn't see that at the time, but now a lot more people are waking up and realizing, oh shoot, okay, I lost my job. Okay, I guess it just means me. I guess when they say shut down the economy, they mean shut down me, and that I don't have the freedom to go to the gym, whatever, go to the grocery store, open my grocery store, open my business. So,
right.
Yeah. And they also saw those same governors or politicians that said, okay, you need to shut down. They say, oh, but these actual violent rioters are peaceful protesters and just stand down, follow the curfew. It's just crazy. And those people got to see like, okay, the state that I used to worship because they said they're here to defend me is doing neither. They're in fact shutting me down, making it hard for me to even live. So they're not protecting my livelihood, and they won't even defend me from people who want to loot or burn down my my property. So
Absolutely. And a lot of people learn that the hard way, that, oh, you know what? When push comes to shove,
They
the
learn the
government does
nature of
not
the
care about
state.
you as an individual. They just
Yeah.
do whatever's politically convenient for those in power for whatever their purposes are. And in
Right.
this case, a lot of those cities, I would say, the most common trope was indeed Democrat controlled cities. They loved seeing all these, protests in many cases. Some were, of course, real protests, stuff like that.
Protests,
But they
talking
love
about
seeing
police
it because, like, oh, okay,
brutality
see,
and
look, this is, I'm showing solidarity. And they're like, we're going to like let things go to a fault because, hey, we need to come in and show that we're strong, with the people that are marching, and also create more chaos so that they can come in and be the savior, right? Oh, okay, let's let things go bad and then say, see, this is why you need us. Without us, you would be nothing, and there'd just be chaos in the streets.
Right. It backfired on them a lot, though,
Yeah.
with some people, because they saw, okay, you're just willingly not protecting, like and I think part of that, what helps that is just so many people having cell phones now and the ability to live stream and having mobile data and internet on their phone, that they're able to record police standing there while looting is going on a block away, and like police are just standing there in their patrol cars, not choosing not to do something. So I think that has helped a lot of people realize the nature of government, and the narrative is not exactly what they say. So yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's really a big double speak, right? Telling people, oh yeah, when people go protest, and it's what we want, Corona doesn't spread. It just doesn't. But if it's something that we don't like, oh, well, magically, if you have 11 people at your house party, you know what I mean, where everybody's, super chill and fine. Oh my gosh, now Corona's going to kill grandmas across the world.
That,
like
people
such
being
insanity.
Arrested for having a wedding in New Jersey. A mother being arrested in the park for taking her daughter to the park where no one's there, or even if there was people there, it's victimless,
Right.
And as long as the people who are all there chose to be there,
right. It's at your own risk. You're like, okay, I'm going to go to here. I'm going to choose to take on this risk, just like everything else. Like, oh, I'm going to go skiing.
And
I take on the risk.
If you get sick, you're not expecting others to take care of you. You're like, okay, now I'm sick, so let me stay home. Maybe I have to miss out work, but no one's funding you if you're, an advocate of individual liberty and responsibility. So,
and if someone is being funded by the state in terms of, whatever types of bailouts, well, that is a problem of welfareism, not a problem of freedom. Freedom is not the problem. The problem is the government picking winners and losers and stealing from some to give to others for politically convenient ends.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot. I do like seeing a lot of people protesting, though. That's good. Like in the UK, a lot of people, like, they had David Icke speak, and a lot of them were just like saying end the lockdowns. And it's crazy. You see like the news outlets and how they paint these protesters. They're like, oh, coronavirus deniers out in public, not social distancing. Like, you see the headlines and how they paint these people, when actually all of these people are just saying, I want to work. I want to go outside. I don't want to be locked in. This is wrong. I don't want to be forced to stay inside. I don't want the British police coming to my house and watching me from my window and seeing if I'm kissing my husband, like, it's crazy, and these people who are just demanding freedom are being painted as evildoers or crazy lunatics. So it's definitely a fight.
That is
definitely a fight out there, and why we're trying to make content like this to push back and to just show people that there's an alternative out there. The red pill, if you will.
The black and yellow pill, if you will.
The black and
but
yellow
yeah, it's definitely something that I think is a very opportune time for those of us who love liberty to take advantage of. And that is that at this point, a larger portion of the population than there was in January is now actually open to the idea that, maybe the government's not all good, or maybe the government has a bit too much control of people's lives because of the shutdowns and because of the economic calamity caused by the government banning travel and trade, and especially where it was super wanton. Like, you remember early on when there were certain mayors trying to like ban gun stores from selling guns, like no connection to Corona. It's like, what?
A lot of states tried that, actually.
And I think that lots of people are starting to wake up and change course in their thinking. And this is the time to get them educated on what it means to be principled and what it means to understand that the government inherently is not existing for your personal benefit. It's to benefit only people
they exist at your cost.
Right, exactly.
It's funded through extortion.
Exactly. So, that's why we want to make sure that people really understand this from multiple angles, whether it's, music or entertainment videos, comics, or, postings or educational videos like you do on your page, or with education terms of like schooling versus unschooling, like the whole gamut. We want to try to wake up as many people as possible and just educate as many people as possible to think outside the state and to think how they can be more peaceable in their actions and in their communications. So that way there's actual meaningful progress toward a free society and not just the same cycle of, oh, okay, I did this because it was convenient. Like I'm just, tired of the two-party system, and not actually adopt and think about the philosophy and the ethics and the principles.
For me, I just keep focusing on the principles and the foundations of liberty. It's you as an individual human being, you own yourself, and your sovereignty, your consent should be respected. Your body and your property should be respected, and you should be free to decide what happens with your own body and your own justly acquired property. So long as you do the same for others and respect it. And that's what a voluntary society is all about. It's not so much like, oh, end government just to end it. No, it's specifically ending the extortion racket. It's specifically ending a organization that's funded through extortion. And that's the point. And that's really the focus here. It's not just being anti-government to be. It's against organizations, just like any mafia, that get their funding through violence and coercion. So we just got to keep helping people see that, whether it's your own family, whether it's coworkers, strangers, anyone. Just when you get the chance, talk about that. Just talk about how it is about your individual body and your property, that everyone wants to be respected in their own body and property. Now they just need help to realize that the world will not be peaceful if they do not respect that for others, and that if they continue to advocate for violations of other people's individual body and property rights, like mandatory masks or shutting down their business because it's deemed whatever, like there's a virus going around or a flu, so we need to shut you down. Like, as long as people, defend that, we're going to have a violent world. So really it is peace comes from when individual people choose to live peacefully and to treat others peacefully too, and to not think that coercion, force, violence is an option, especially when it comes to kids. That's why we advocate for peaceful parenting. But if you just universalize that, if you universalize peace and voluntary human interactions, that's truly how we can have a free society where everyone thrives and everyone has the opportunity to grow and to, make mistakes, but they, are free to like take care of themselves and figure it out. So, yeah. Yeah.
So that's some great points. That's great points.
Hopefully that helps. And just some people say, oh, they feel, especially, and I understand this. I've had this myself. They look at all the status around them. They look at the news media and just how many people are indoctrinated, especially if you live in a city or a state where a lot of people around you are brought into the propaganda. Like, they'll yell at you if you don't have a mask, like everyone will, it seems like. Just remember that, first of all, you yourself became a voluntarist or a libertarian or an anarcho-capitalist. So remember that, and remember that journey that you took. So you're an example that minds can change. And then also look at all the people, whether it's on the internet or if you happen to find libertarians around you, that have changed too. So just know that it is possible, and people are changing. People's minds are changing, and every single one of us can make a difference by always promoting individual liberty and body and property rights. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and you guys find some motivation there for just continuing the fight, eternal vigilance for liberty, just continuing to fan the flame of freedom, in our lifetimes. So anyway, hope you guys check out our music video and Red Flag Reality 2.
Right. So
or
you got Mask Order, right?
Mask
Again,
Order music
Red Flag
video.
Reality 2. You got the
Gun
Voluntaryist
buyback program. Got
comic
the
there. Again,
comic.
if you're just new here, we're just quickly promoting here the 3 projects here we got going on. Origins 4, which, as you can see, the cover, very timely with and the lockdown
Yeah,
and the shutdown.
Yeah.
Red Flag Reality 2, Mask Order.
That won't be the video. That's just me. The video will be the gun buyback skit. That'll be fun.
Right.
So I'm going to enjoy that. And then the Mask Order music video. Remember, you can be in it. So just check out the different perks that we have. See what perk you like. That goes for all of the campaigns. So yeah, just check it out.
Exactly. And we have different productions level too. If we raise more than, what we're expecting, which we'll see, who knows, we definitely have some other skits in mind too. So you definitely want to check that out. We have some other skits that we want to do eventually, but we'll see. We'll take it as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and just link everybody here really quick one more time, just so they have it. But yeah, it's been my pleasure to be able to see everybody and catch up and hear that everyone's overall doing all right. Although it seems like some people are
read
struggling.
Everybody. See some of you with your static profile picture, but
right.
Yeah, it was nice to hear from a lot of you.
Yeah. I just appreciate it, like everything that you've done to help us. Thank you, Sasquatch. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Was it Dragon?
Dragon Man.
Dragon Man.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, we're just really excited. We just think that this is going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to really enjoy the outcomes on all of them, or at least one of them, but hopefully all of them. Just depends on how much you like rap music.
We'll trigger a lot of status, but hey,
yes, a lot of status.
Getting triggered is how you grow.
Yeah.
If you focus on, why am I so triggered right now? All right.
Guys.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll
we'll be doing more live streams.
And
updating y'all very soon. So, all right, take care, everybody.
Take care, everyone.